in the fog of war.
I met a traveller from an antique land. Who said, "Two vast and trunkless legs of stone stand in the desert. Near them, on the sand, half sunk a shattered visage lies, whose frown and wrinkled lip and sneer of cold command tell that its sculptor well those passions read, which yet survive, stamped on these lifeless things, the hand that mocked them, and the heart that fed. And on the pedestal, these words appear, My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair. Nothing beside remains, round the decay of that colossal wreck, boundless and bare. The lone and level sands stretch far away." January 2nd, 1988, a small team at Interplay Entertainment released Wasteland, a massive hit, and the first of its kind, creating a massive genre that still stands tall to this day. But what is it about the apocalypse that captivates us? Is it the primal challenge of raw survival, or the imposing of order on chaos and imagining what might rise from the ashes? What is it that calls us to ruin? You're wounded, outnumbered, and down to your last few bullets. The sound of footsteps echoes closer. There's nowhere to run, only the hope that they don't find you first.
God damn it! Drop them, shitheads!
Survival is the name of the game, and survival mechanics present an abundance of new challenges, from conserving ammunition to rationing the food you have left. It demands careful micromanagement that increases the challenge exponentially. In The Long Dark, deciding whether to use your last match to start a fire or save it for later can mean the difference between freezing to death or making it through the night. Meanwhile, in DayZ, a risky shortcut across open fields might save time, but it leaves you vulnerable to both the elements and lurking enemies. These constant, high-stakes decisions turn even the most minor actions into moments of intense tension where survival is never guaranteed. In recent times, survival mechanics have evolved beyond essential resource management. Modern games explore the psychological effects of isolation, fear, and desperation. Games like Subnautica explore the loneliness of being stranded in an alien world, balancing wonder and awe with the ever-present threat of danger. These layers add depth to the genre, reflecting humanity's fears and relentless will to endure. It's the constant weight of those choices that keep players hooked. In a world where survival is everything, every action matters, and every mistake could be your last. A World in Ruins is not just a backdrop. It's a canvas for the stories of those who survived, those who didn't, and those trying to rebuild. Every resource you scavenge was once part of a functioning world serving a purpose long before the collapse. Now, they exist as a message to the player. This is what's left of humanity. What will you do with it? However, not all stories from the Ashes are focused on survival alone. Some are rooted in resistance, oppression, and humanity's resilience in the face of overwhelming odds. Released in 2004, its world is one of quiet devastation. Half-Life 2 revolutionized environmental storytelling. Earth has been conquered by the Combine, an alien force that drains the planet's natural resources, leaving it to wither and die. Humanity clings to hope, banding together in a final act of defiance. This chaos holds a strange beauty, a world built from the remnants of a pre-invasion life, overgrown playgrounds, abandoned homes, and crumbling infrastructure now serve as battlegrounds repurposed by the Combine like a parasite, corrupting and consuming everything in its path. Even in this destruction, there's a quiet beauty, a reminder of what humanity lost and the resilience of those who keep fighting. But while Half-Life 2 depicts humanity united against a common enemy, fighting to reclaim what was once theirs, Fallout offers a darker, more satirical take on the apocalypse. What happens in the aftermath when humanity must rebuild while holding onto the ideals that led to its destruction? In Fallout, the apocalypse is as much a cautionary tale as it is a playground for dark humor and satire. Set in a retro-futuristic vision of the 1950s, Fallout juxtaposes bright, optimistic imagery of nuclear-powered progress with the reality of a world ravaged by the very same ideals. What's left is a shattered world populated by mutants, scavengers, and factions fighting for survival. Stories from the Ashes are just one piece of the puzzle, working with gameplay to immerse the player. But what is an excellent story if it doesn't captivate visually? Ironically, the post-apocalyptic setting, focused so much on destruction, often holds beauty in the decayed. Abandoned cities reclaimed by overgrown nature, derelict structures weathered by time, relics of a long-forgotten past. These aesthetics keep many of us coming back, eager to explore the ruins again and again. Games like Metro, Stalker, and even more unconventional choices like Dishonored shower the player with breathtaking vistas shaped by the aesthetics of decay. In the Stalker games, the anomalies scattered throughout the zone create landscapes that are both beautiful and dangerous, forcing players to navigate a world where danger feels ever present. In the Metro series, the underground tunnels of Moscow and the ravaged surface of post-apocalyptic Russia serve as dual backdrops to a world ravaged by nuclear and biological warfare. Then there's the city of Dunwall from Dishonored, an industrial dystopia that, while not entirely apocalyptic, mirrors many of the genre's themes. In Dishonored, the decay isn't just physical, it's societal. Dunwall is a city collapsing under its weight. While more dystopian than strictly apocalyptic, Dunwall demonstrates how thin the line can be between the two. This fascination with the remains of our past stokes our captivation with the apocalypse. Though nothing lasts forever, there's an undeniable beauty in what remains. Once familiar and alive, these ruins now stand as silent witnesses to a bygone era, as nothing but a link between then and now, challenging us to consider the path forward. Do we let the world around us fade away? Or do we rebuild while the foundations still stand? Modern life thrives on routine and order. Everything around us is meticulously designed to function seamlessly. From the basics like public transit and grocery stores to vital systems like healthcare and even the intricate frameworks of international trade and governance. These are the unseen gears that keep our lives running smoothly. Yet, this dependence is not without cost. Because the more crutches you have, the more it hurts when they're kicked out from under you. When the dust settles and the fires fade, the only thing left is to start over. The apocalypse is never the end, it's a new beginning, leaving us as the forerunners of a new era. Every choice we make from this point forward will shape the future in ways we can only begin to imagine. This is where video games let us take the reins, turning the dream of rebuilding into an active, immersive experience. Frostpunk is a simulation and strategy game in which players manage a city struggling to survive after global cooling. The generator at its center is the sole source of heat. As the leader, you must make difficult choices, enforcing harsh laws, cutting rations, and allocating resources while keeping citizens alive and hopeful. Decisions often come at a moral cost. Do you sacrifice a few for the survival of many, or do you risk collapse to uphold ethical ideals? Survival hinges on innovation and action. Players can research technology, scout for resources and survivors, and build automatons to sustain the city. Yet every step forward is a reminder of how fragile hope can be. Frostpunk centers on managing a city's survival through difficult choices. In contrast, Death Stranding explores a personal journey to reconnect a fractured world. Rebuilding here isn't about maintaining structures but restoring bonds. Set in a post-apocalyptic United States, the game follows Sam Porter Bridges, a courier reconnecting isolated colonies through a wireless communications network. The cataclysmic event that unleashed spectral BTs and chaos has left these colonies dependent on Bridges, a company whose couriers risk their lives delivering supplies. Every delivery is a step toward rebuilding not just infrastructure, but trust. The game turns carrying cargo into a story about responsibility and resilience. Death Stranding reminds us that even in the bleakest times, rebuilding starts with human bonds. It feels distant, yet it's closer than we think. While we've never faced a full-scale global catastrophe, humanity has brushed against the apocalypse more times than we can count. Time and again, we've endured. But unsettlingly, the closest we've ever come is now. For many, the collapse of civilization is a distant fantasy, a thrilling escape from the monotony of daily life. We juggle responsibilities, meet deadlines, and feel trapped by the demands of modern society. The idea of a societal reset, where the rules no longer apply, can feel strangely liberating. It's a temporary escape from the pressures of life, a chance to shed the expectations and face the primal challenges where your biggest problem is surviving to live another day. But this comfort is a luxury afforded to the few. For millions worldwide, the devastation we experience in these games is not fantasy. It's their reality. They face the daily horrors of war, displacement, and the collapse of their communities. Their struggles are not a game, but a fight for survival. Despite this stark contrast, we can find hope in these stories of ruin. Even in the face of the unimaginable, the human spirit is incredibly resilient. Survivors rebuild, piece by piece, and show an extraordinary ability to create something meaningful from the ashes. We long for disaster, not in pursuit of the end, but for the hope of a new beginning, even in the face of ruin.